All right, welcome. Today we're going to break down exactly how you can go from getting kind of random hit or miss results from AI to getting reliable, professional quality outputs every single time in your dental practice.
So, have you ever felt like using AI is a bit of a gamble? Sometimes it's amazing and other times it's just useless. If that's you, you are definitely not alone. The difference between an amateur user and a pro isn't some kind of magic. It really just comes down to one thing: structure.
And this slide right here perfectly illustrates the problem. On the left, you've got a super vague request, write about implants, and you get a generic, unusable result. But on the right, look at that, a structured, specific prompt that delivers a patient-ready email. It's the core principle, right? Random inputs get you random outputs. But a systematic framework, that gets you exactly what you need.
So, we've got a really clear plan to get you there. First, we'll talk about going from random to reliable. Then, we'll unpack the dental blueprint. It's made for you. After that, I'm going to show you how to build your very own prompt library. And we'll finish up with some pro tips and, the real-world payoff. So, let's dive in with the foundation.
Okay, it all begins with the simplest, most powerful framework for any dental professional. It's called RTF, and honestly, it's the bedrock of doing this stuff effectively.
The absolute key is to always define these three things: role, task, and format. So, for example, you tell the AI its role is a pediatric dentist. The task is to explain a sealant procedure. And the format is a 100-word email for parents. See? This simple little structure is the secret sauce to getting consistent, high-quality results.
All right, now let's see how that basic RTF idea expands into a really powerful framework that's designed specifically for dentistry. This is the dental blueprint. Think of it as the organizing principle for using AI across your entire practice.
So the dental framework breaks everything down into 6 key areas where AI can have a huge impact: diagnosis, efficiency, notes, treatment planning, analytics, and learning. Now the key here is not to feel overwhelmed. You don't have to tackle all of this at once. In fact, the best approach is to just start with one.
For most practices, seriously, the biggest and quickest win comes from mastering N for notes and documentation. Just think about it for a second. Generating SOAP notes, referral letters, treatment summaries. This is where you're going to see the most immediate day-to-day impact and a really clear return on your time.
So, now you've got the blueprint. Let's talk about building the system that makes it work for you every single day. We're talking about creating your own personal prompt library.
The best way to think about your library is in 3 tiers. At the bottom, you've got your universal prompts, the stuff every practice needs. Then you've got your specialty prompts for, perio or ortho. And at the very top, you have your personal prompts, the ones that are tailored to your unique voice and style.
Every great template in your library should have this exact anatomy: a clear name, the specific use case, the full prompt itself, and a list of the variables you need to customize. This structure is what ensures anyone on your team can use it and get the same high-quality result every single time. It's foolproof. Now, building your library, it's not some massive project you have to block out a whole weekend for. Nope, it's a simple little loop. Use a prompt for a real task, refine it based on what you get back, save that perfected version, and then reuse it to save time. This little cycle of continuous improvement is everything. Let's look at a real-world example. So Dr. Johnson's first attempt to get an insurance narrative? Denied. He then refined it using that RTF framework we talked about, and it was better. But it was his third attempt, where he added specific clinical details and constraints. That's what created the comprehensive approved narrative. He literally turned a denial into an approval using this exact loop.
Okay, so we've got the frameworks, we've got the library structure. Now let's get to the good stuff, the tangible results, plus a few advanced techniques to really take your skills to the next level.
So once you're comfortable with the basics, you can start using these pro-level moves to get even more precision. For instance, instead of starting a new prompt from scratch, try conversational refinement. Just talk to the AI. Say, hey, that's a good start, but can you make the tone more empathetic? You can also give it an example of your own writing to mimic, or tell it exactly what to avoid. Like, don't use any complex jargon. These little tweaks give you just surgical control over that final output. So what's the actual payoff here? Well, let's look at the data. Dr. Johnson spent just 5 minutes creating that one optimized insurance prompt. He now saves over 40 minutes every single month from that one template alone. I mean, come on, that is a massive return on investment. And what's really amazing is that you don't need hundreds of prompts to completely transform your practice's efficiency.
Not even close. In fact, you only need about this many to get started. That's right, just 10. 10 well-crafted templates can handle the vast majority. We're talking 90% of your daily, repetitive work. The most important thing to get is that this is not some giant mountain to climb. It is an incredibly achievable goal.
And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. Build once, use forever. That small upfront investment you make in building your prompt library, it pays you back endlessly, freeing you up to focus on what actually matters, caring for your patients,